Hi. To introduce history into the pre-K classroom is an important and imperative function of the teacher to introduce students to the concepts and understanding of the history, even for the youngest children. And I am discussing pre-K students ages 3 to 5. There are so many opportunities to integrate and engage the students with activities to assist them in understanding not only their own history, but possibly a little bit about the history of their families and the communities and of the school, and hopefully also society as a whole. To assist them in the beginning of the comprehension and the understanding of history, um, there are many ways to incorporate these ideals into our classroom. Um, and why we want to do this is to help the children not only to understand themselves and understand us as a group or as a culture or as a nation or as the world, is because we want the children to understand how we've gotten to where we are, and we also want children to understand the history, to understand themselves, their family, their community, and it helps to give people, when they understand their history, to give them an idea of civic responsibility, or a feeling of civic responsibility, that they can make a difference, that they will make a difference, um, that their voice does matter, and what we choose to do or not do does affect our society. There is, of course, the past, and this can be achieved. Introducing the students to the past can be achieved through so many events in the classroom, by keeping records of the children or their family, having a family history. Send something home, have the family return it, and then discussing and reading about each individual child's family history. The past can be marked by discussing holidays, the seasons, any number of ways, and by recording a great deal of the information and making this a part of our classroom libraries. This allows students to look back at what they have achieved and what they've done throughout the year, and to note or internalize in some way that that happened before, this is happening now, this will happen after. So it's also teaching them sequencing. Children need to understand that change is inevitable, and a way to bring this into the pre-K classroom is to constantly be noting the changes in something as simple as nature. If there's nature hopefully around your school, you'll be constantly commenting on how this is always changing and that it's just inevitable. Time is important for children to grasp, and this will probably just will occur naturally with the following of a classroom schedule. Students will know this happens and that happens and this happens. It's again the sequencing of events, and children are very astute at knowing, okay, after reading we have nap, or after nap we have lunch, etc. There are many methods to be certain that history is a part of all pre-K classrooms, and it will give our children a real sense of belonging, and an understanding that they belong to something very important. Our society, not just our classroom society, but our society as a whole and our world as a whole.